Your discipline builds your future. Welcome to Clartify.
Right now, there is something in your life you don't want to look at. Not because you don't know it exists, but because you do. And that is why you call yourself lazy. Lazy is a convenient word. It sounds harmless. It sounds like a personality flaw. But it hides something far more dangerous. People don't avoid work. They avoid what the work would force them to face. Let's slow this down. When you say, "I'm lazy," what you really mean is, I don't feel safe to move. You don't feel safe to try. You don't feel safe to commit. You don't feel safe to find out who you really are. So your body shuts down. You scroll. You distract yourself. You jump between things. Not because you don't care, but because caring feels too risky. Avoidance feels like tiredness. Avoidance feels like fog. Avoidance feels like, I don't know why I can't start. But it's not random. Your nervous system is reacting to something it believes will hurt you if you face it. Maybe it's the fear of failing. Maybe it's the fear of succeeding. Maybe it's the fear of disappointing someone. Maybe it's the fear of disappointing yourself. So you hover. You think. You plan. You prepare. But you never choose. Because choosing means loss. If you choose one path, you lose all the others. And humans hate loss more than they hate pain. That's why avoidance is so powerful. It lets you keep every door open, every identity alive, every fantasy untouched. You can keep telling yourself, I could be anything, but the moment you choose, you become something. And that is terrifying. So instead of becoming, you stay potential. And potential feels safe. But potential is a prison. Let me tell you something quietly. The reason you feel tired all the time is not because you work too hard. It's because you are carrying a life you're not living. Every day you wake up knowing there is something you are avoiding. A conversation, a decision, a change, a truth. And that knowledge drains more energy than action ever would. That's why rest doesn't fix it. That's why weekends don't help. Because the problem is not your schedule. It's your courage. Now here's the uncomfortable part. You already know what you're avoiding. You know the relationship you should confront. You know the habit you should drop. You know the dream you keep postponing. And every time you think about it, your chest tightens. That tightness is not anxiety. It's honesty. Your body is telling you this matters, but instead of listening, you escape. You scroll. You eat. You watch. You distract. And then you blame yourself for being lazy. But laziness is not the truth. Avoidance is. And avoidance keeps you small. It keeps you in a life that feels familiar, but empty. Let me say something brutal. Avoidance does not protect you. It erodes you. It slowly destroys your self-trust. You stop believing your own promises. You stop taking your own thoughts seriously. Not loudly, silently. You start to see yourself as someone who talks, but doesn't act. And that is one of the most painful identities a human can carry. That's why you feel stuck. Not because you're broken, but because you're hiding. Hiding from your own potential. Hiding from your own responsibility. Hiding from the life that would require you to be brave. And here is the truth no motivational video will tell you. You don't need more discipline. You need to stop avoiding. You need to look directly at the thing you keep pushing away. Because that thing is not your enemy. It's your future. The moment you face it, energy comes back. Clarity comes back. Confidence comes back. Not because life becomes easy, but because you're no longer fighting yourself. So, ask yourself something real. What are you avoiding? Not in theory, in your real life. What is the thing that makes you uncomfortable just thinking about it? That's where everything is. And until you face it, no amount of motivation will ever save you. Because you're not lazy. You're afraid. And the moment you stop being afraid, everything changes.
Thank you for watching. If you're ready to upgrade your mind and build unshakable discipline, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. More powerful lessons are coming. Stay disciplined. Stay clarified.